Hey, what's up? I just wanted to do a fun little video of a brand new tech item that I got. So we're gonna retrace some steps and start at the beginning. So yeah, I've gotten my new NOOK all set up. Got it all set up. Have a few apps because I really didn't want to have this be a real tablet. Like, this is mainly just for like bookish and reading related stuff. So I have the NOOK app that it comes with. I also got Libby because I have a library card and I mainly wanted to get this tablet so I could have Libby on it and not always have to buy new books. I want to use my library more. I do not want to have to go through all the hoops of like downloading an EPUB file from Libby and then connecting my old NOOK to my computer to get it on it. I just want the app. And then I have Fable. I have Fable on here. And then downloaded a couple newspaper apps. In an ideal world, I think I'll probably use this in the mornings when I'm fixing a cup of coffee and I want to sit back, relax for an hour, do some reading, do some catching up on the news. And then yeah, there's a lot of other Google related apps already on here that I'm just leaving for now. I also have the different times for a few cities that I'm interested in: Chicago, Seoul, and Richmond, Virginia, the one I live in. There's like the activity center, which on this first page for it, it definitely already is aware of what I'm reading. I think I want to get the Game Changers series books because, again, that's another thing. I'm trying to steer away from buying physical books for various reasons. I just don't want to like keep bulking up on belongings. I love physical media. I'm gonna continue collecting physical media, but that's also going to relate to movies and games and vinyl and other forms of music. I have some CDs. I have a couple cassettes, but I don't have a cassette player. But I'm trying to move away from physical books, and I also like physical media, so I don't want to waste a lot of money on digital books. I'll buy some here and there, but if I can get it through Libby, through my library, through other free resources, or just super cheap, which is how I tend to buy ebooks anyway, I'm gonna do that. But I also have YouTube Music, so if I need to or want to, I can listen to some podcasts or just music, like if I'm using this on public transportation. The funny thing is that this has a camera, because it has tablet functionality. I could technically send messages on this tablet, or if I had other apps for communication, but I really just feel like sitting back using this as an e-reader primarily is going to be what I'm using it for. Right now I don't have a case for it, obviously, but I'm probably going to get one. This is my old Nook, my GlowLight, I think, which I do have a case on it. But I like the GlowLight, but I think I've always had problems with this specific one. There was a really long time where it was horrendous about updating, and any time I turned on my device, all of my ebooks were undownloaded and I couldn't figure out what to do. I like restarted it a million times, and I think I had to completely, I tried updating it, like to thinking it was maybe a software issue, still having issues. I had to completely like reboot the device, log out, like start from scratch to fix the issue, and it's really been irritating since then. It's also, again, just I don't have the capability of Libby on this, which is really the most significant reason I'm changing, because I do like the tactile page turners. You know, it's not the end of the world that it takes a little bit of time here and there to load things and switch between pages. I mean, it's a ink or e-ink or whatever it's called. You know, doing a little bit of size comparison here. You know, similar sizing. Obviously the tablet's like a little taller. Kind of also a little bit thinner. Please don't judge me too harshly. I'm dealing with a broken collarbone and very limited movement. But you can kind of see the differences between them size-wise. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this footage, but I definitely wanted to like just film it and point out some stuff. So yes, I got the newer NOOK Lenovo Tablet. This is the Frost Blue edition, which is a fun color, I would say. It was on sale at the time. I've had it for a little over a month now, and originally I got it because I wanted to replace my old NOOK. It was just not the most responsive and intuitive, and I just wanted something that had a little bit more versatility, and most importantly, the ability to put apps on it, because Libby is the most important app for me right now, because I want to borrow as many ebooks from my library, audiobooks from my library, so that I am not spending egregious amounts of money on books and ebooks. So yeah, I have a cute little setup on my home screen, just some time zones that I'm interested in, and then, you know, my book apps, my NOOK, my Libby, my Fable, because I wanted that accessible, so when I finish a book I can just go right and rate it on the same device. Which, if you want to follow me on Fable, here is some information for you right here. I'll put it on the screen. I will say I am really enjoying this tablet NOOK compared to the e-ink display NOOK, and I would certainly recommend it. If you want the ability to read ebooks across a variety of different apps, this is perfect. You don't have to worry about the convoluted process of downloading an EPUB file, uploading it onto a USB or to your PC, and then transferring it to your NOOK. That's just too much. But I want something responsive. This is a pretty good weight. This is a pretty good size. I can pretty easily just, you know, use it how I need to. Pretty easily hold it in my hand, tap how I need to. I think this is a really good size. It's definitely bigger than kind of the more compact e-readers out there, but it works. And there are a lot of settings you can play with to adapt the screen. You can turn down the brightness, you can increase the warmth, and, you know, take away some of the blue light. You can also go into basically a grayscale mode that reduces it more to what an e-ink reader would kind of show, I will say. This doesn't have the most processing power ever in a tablet, so it's not gonna be able to run everything, and I personally am not going to try to put some games on it to try to do any intensive tasks, even though I'm sure you probably could use this for streaming as well, but I don't think I'll use this for streaming. I like doing that. I like watching things on a TV or on my computer. But if I was ever in a pinch and I really wanted to watch a Netflix show while I only had access to this, I could download it, and I think I would be very comfortable watching some TV on this screen. Let's see, what are the books I've read with this in kind of the past month. First book I read on this was Cafe con Laishi by Emery Lee. It is a YA romance, a gay romance between two rival restaurants and the sons that want to save the businesses from failing. It was really cute. I definitely enjoyed it. There were some moments that just felt super cliche, and the ending wrapped up really nicely, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a romance. You need a happily ever after. Then on my trip to Boston, I pretty much read the majority of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O, and really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really cute story. Again, there's everybody with their fricked up engines. But it's about this girl that tries to offer herself up as a sacrifice for the sea god, who takes a bride every year in the hopes of dispelling a curse that plagues their town and their country, and to basically save her brother and her brother's lover, she sacrifices herself instead, and that's where the story jump starts. She goes down into kind of a spirit realm, and shit happens from there. But there were a lot of cool moments in the book, and it is kind of upper YA. You know, this is still young. I think in the book she's 16 during the events of the majority of the story, but it's not the lower end of YA. I think it's definitely meant for kind of an older YA audience. But I really enjoyed it, and it made me want to read her other series, which starts with The Floating World. And I borrowed it from Libby, did not read it in time and had to return it. So now I am waiting to borrow it again once I finish with The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. And then the other book that I started reading was Michelle Obama's biography, because I figured why not. And the unfortunate thing with that as well is I got it at the same time as The Girl Beneath the Sea, or The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and was reading that on my trip to Boston, and so time passed and I only got a little bit of the way into Becoming. But I've placed another hold. I think there's 3 people ahead of me for that, so I'll just wait until I get it again to finish reading it. And then I have my own Nook app, which has a bunch of my own ebooks on it that I can read at any point. So I think once I finish with The Burning God and finish the Poppy War trilogy, finally, shit's getting real, I'll go back to reading some ebooks. Yeah, I just figured I'd create a cute little video on this Nook. Again, it's the 9-inch Lenovo Tablet from Nook. This is the Frost Blue Edition. If you're looking for an e-reader that you want to play around with some apps on it as well and not just have like an e-ink display, definitely go with the Nook tablets, I would say. I don't know too many of the other e-readers out there, but obviously let's avoid Amazon. Let's all avoid Amazon when we can. And then I think Kobo is also a good choice, but I don't think they have like tablet readers. And I think you still have to go through the complicated process of getting your Libby books onto the e-reader, but I'm not an expert in the field. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great spring, because the weather's warming up. Bye.